Good evening, everybody. Welcome to, I almost said the forum, you guys. I almost said that. I'm not even
I
lying.
had to slap you.
Right. Welcome to Real Talk Food Network, everybody. Tonight we have a small cast, but we have an exciting show. We hope Brooke's not frozen, but she is having a little bit of computer problems, so hopefully she's not froze up. Can you hear us, Brooke?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, there you go.
As long as she can hear and hopefully see the dishes, then she'll be able to judge. Tonight, you guys, just some minor announcements here at the beginning. Alicia is not feeling well tonight, so she is not with us, okay? Christy will be moving, and she's leaving really early in the morning, and they got to get a head start. There's some bad weather and stuff. She was planning on being here, diehard, hang in there kind of chef here on the show, but she will be back as soon as she gets adjusted in her new sitting. We're hoping next week, but it actually might be the week after. We're not 100% sure. Tina is off. She is headed to Colorado with her daughter and her husband. Her daughter's going to be going to college there, and they're going for like a meet and greet kind of thing. So tonight you have Zen, Chef Michael, Judge Brooke, and myself here. And I did want to mention before we start the show that a lot of you had seen Chef Lindsay on the show. We joked around and called her Rachel a lot. She has left the cast of the show for personal reasons, and that's really all we're going to stretch on it. It's just she has a lot of things she's working on, and she just doesn't have the time to commit to the show. But she was a huge part of the show for the time she was on here. We all love and adore her, and we wish her nothing but the best with just her journey, her life, her family, and everything. So, Lindsay, we're thinking about you. We thank you for being on the show and the amazing contributions that you made. Tonight, you guys, our theme is going to be 4th of July barbecue. Now, the chefs were asked to bring one main and one side. So they could bring, they're going to be presenting two things tonight. Tonight's a little bit different than last week, and I don't think a lot of people saw the show because I'm pretty sure it got posted on the wrong channel. It's still one of Alicia's channels, but we kind of can't find it, but it is out there. So if you run across it, it was a really good episode. Michael was the winner last week, which puts him named our top chef for 3 weeks in a row. So Zen's giving you a run for your money tonight, Michael. Don't get happy.
I know she is. It's always close.
You guys, we're nearing the end, and next week is going to be a special week for us here, too. We're nearing the end of the season because next week, Brooke, myself, and Tina will find out our, quote, picking order for who we're taking to the finals because there will be 3 people going to the final for the finale to be named Ultimate Top Chef, and then Alicia holds a wild card that she can enter. Anybody that has appeared on the show not having to have won the title of Top Chef throughout the season. So, having said that, it's going to be very interesting to see how all that plays out. But next week, Alicia will draw the order that Brooke, Tina, and I get to select who we're taking because someone's got to be first and someone's got to be last, and the only fair way to do it is to draw. So we'll find that out next week. And next week is Nuts for Nuts, cooking with nuts. So next week's dishes will be dishes that are made with nuts added, or the main part of it could be a nut. We don't know. So we're excited for that show. And we should have a pretty decent cast size-wise next week, we're hoping. Fingers crossed. So we decided that tonight Zen is going to go first because Michael went first last week. So Zen, you're presenting first this evening. Just a reminder to Brooke to please send in your scores via text as soon as you have those. Send those over to me. And we'll start with Zen. Zen, what did you make tonight?
Okay, I made 2 dishes. Of course, I made a main dish, and it is for a barbecue, and I made blackened shrimp, blackened fish taco, and what here is a picture. Here's a piece of the fish removed from the taco, so you can see that it is very blackened. And then I have a barbecue sauce that I'm going to put on it, and it is a spicy barbecue sauce that is got salsa in it, and it's got lemon, garlic, onion, all kind of stuff. And I'm going to put it on it, but I didn't want it soggy because that's gross. And I used a special tortilla that I picked up today. Hold on, let me show you what those are. From Sprouts. It is the Artisan Purple Corn Tortilla, blend of corn and wheat. There are 6 in the pack, no artificial this, that, and
They're so pretty.
Huh?
They're so pretty.
They are pretty. Yeah, they are pretty. They're kind of a purple color, and you know, this could be the blue in red, white, and blue if you try hard enough.
There you go.
So basically, my taco. Okay, and I have it all secured here, so I don't have to hear about anything dropping or hear anything drop. It's secured here with all of these pins, and in the taco, I'll open and reveal the innermost workings of it. And this is something that I would eat at a barbecue that I would like to eat versus a hamburger or hot dog. I would love it if they served mahi-mahi or salmon, blackened salmon or grilled with barbecue fish. So inside is cabbage, chopped cabbage, and then we have a little cilantro on the side, some garlic, and then some tomato. And it's pretty simple. I'm not having it all sauced out because it would be really ridiculous when I lifted it up. So it's just your basic blackened fish with barbecue sauce. And let me give you the stats on that. This is a really healthy meal, very high protein. There are carbs in the tortilla. So, of course, if you choose to have a tortilla-less taco, fish, barbecue, that would be.
Why would you do such a thing?
I don't, just for
It's a salad. It's not a taco anymore.
Exactly, but there are people who cannot have this stuff yet.
Well, then they can have a salad.
Yeah,
right.
they may not even be able to eat lettuce. Some of them out here. So this has this, just to tell you the stats on the purple tortilla, which are really fun. And I had tried the corn ones, just as the corn wheat ones, and they taste identical. But the purple was so fun. They're both home style, super tasty, way better than the regular fare that you get, the regular old ones. So this has 230 sodium, 18 carb for 1, and then 1 fat, 2 fiber, 0 sugar, and 6 protein in 1 tortilla. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The fish has, I figured the serving size gave for 2, so my fish has 11.5 protein because I have a serving of 1. The total taco content is 135 calories, 18 carbs with the tortilla. It said 6 fat, but I don't. That must be coming from the fish. And so that is the. This is great brain food and super light. You know, that's what I like about it. I will eat 1. That would be my serving size most likely, and then I could have a little bit of a side. So that's why I always leave room for something else. So that is the first dish. Does anyone have any questions on the first dish?
Yeah. What makes okay, first I want to say I got like this orange hue over me, everyone. That's just lighting. I don't have a sunburn or anything because I know people are used to my modeling skin. Anyway, back to the show. What makes those artisan purple tortillas, is it just fun because they're different, or what is something that sets them aside from a normal tortilla?
Well, I think they're just a different type of corn. It is a purple corn. They're not just dyed. It is something that dates back over 2,000 years, Rob. The ancient superfood can still be found in the Andes region of South America. And I would have gone all the way there, but I didn't have to. I just stopped at Sprouts and picked some up. So these are super fun. And this is a fun fact. You know, if the Aztecs, just think about it. We used to stand with stones and ground those suckers out, but now we just run to the market and pick the one we like.
So is the carbs and the calories and everything, would they be close or comparable to a regular tortilla?
Yeah, pretty close.
Okay.
They are.
Okay, that was
and the other
question. Sorry, that was my question.
Okay. That was my answer.
But there's like the queso. Like, is the salsa? Is it moist? I guess because I always picture fish taco is having like.
Well, yes, the salsa is. It's a salsa with barbecue in it, so you can see it is moist. It is liquidy. It does have a little cilantro on the top and a lot throughout. So it is going to be more of a barbecue-y flavor to go with the theme versus just a straight-up salsa. And because I didn't have gas in my grill, that's one reason I didn't authentically done in the kitchen, so you don't have to own a barbecue to make a barbecue fish taco, just saying. So, yeah, the sauce is your basic salsa ingredients with barbecue sauce and some extra spices, some little cayenne and salt and garlic and stuff like that, onion in here for flavor.
Looks good. And when you said cabbage too, I was like, yay.
Oh, cabbage is a great probiotic, guys. And if you don't know that already, I know Brooke probably does, but it's kind of like along the lines of sauerkraut. Cabbage is really good. And so I meant to put some purple cabbage on here, my bad. But I usually try to color it up with purple and green, but today it's just green in there.
Looks nice. It looks perfect.
Before you present your side, I do have a question for anyone that may know. Why, when you buy fish tacos, do they substitute the lettuce out for cabbage? Is there a reason behind that?
I think it's because it won't get soggy.
Okay.
Cabbage doesn't really get soggy quickly. It has a crispier taste to it, so it makes the taco, I think, more inviting rather than this, biting into like a soggy lettuce. And it is chopped really finely, so it's not like you're biting into like the whole neck.
Okay. Zen, are you froze? Oh, geez. Here we go. So, Michael, do you want to sing a song for us?
No.
Okay, so Zen is froze. We're hoping that she can get back on here. We're going to give her a moment to get back on. And it looks like Alicia is watching. Hello, Bob.
Hello.
We hope you're feeling better and can return next week.
Yeah, I hope so too.
So we got you guys, we got some super exciting changes coming for next season, and we'll tell you about those over the next couple of weeks. We'll wait till more of the cast is here, but we have some exciting changes and new things coming on that we'll tell you guys about. Hopefully Zen might still just be talking, you guys. She might not have realized. I'm not even being funny, but let's see. Let me text her. And while we're waiting for her, you guys.
She dropped off.
So she should be back on. Let's talk real quick, you guys, while we wait for her to come back on. What are some like tips or tricks that you might give viewers how to handle like all this food and stuff that they're going to come into over the night? Okay, let's hold that, and we will come back to that question. Let's hold that, and we're going to have Zen move forward. Glad you got back with us.
Yes, something came to my computer from my work or something, and it tries to like override. So sorry about that, guys. That's the hazards of using one computer for 2 or 3 logons. Okay, my next dish is a broccoli pasta salad, and I'm going to show you that. I know this is odd coming from me, but it was so delicious. When I found the recipe, I couldn't resist, and I will.
Wait. What's in there, Zen?
Bow tie pasta, for real, as they call it in Italy.
For real?
Look, there it is. There is the evidence.
Oh my
Evidence. I'm breaking loose. Okay, I'm busting loose. So this salad, it consists of chopped broccoli. There are peppers, the little sweet peppers, the yellow, orange, and red, which I'm so fond of. And then one of my other favorite ingredients, the cranberry. There is a 1/3 of a cup of cranberries in the large mix that I made. There's also chopped pecans and almonds that I used my little chopping thing to chop them up and put it all together. There's also a little salt and pepper. And what I did on mine is I used Brianna's poppy seed, okay, on here. Not a lot, but I always dilute it with water anyway because it's too thick. So I mix it in my big jar, and then I just poured some on here to taste it, because the taste with that is phenomenal. The original recipe called for 3-cheese ranch, and I don't have that. And it's I know that I like Brianna's poppy seed. The other thing is that I did do is I divided it, the pasta, and I made another portion which the other people in the family will eat because they like balsamic vinaigrette with 3 cheese or whatever in that. And I put that on the other half, and that came out great also.
Ooh.
So they're both good, just a different flavor, and I know my kids will go for the balsamic vinaigrette every time. And if I'd had ranch, they probably would eat it. Ranch is notoriously very high calorie, so I just went ahead and decided just to use what I had in the house to make it simple. This salad did not take a lot of time to prepare. There is not any oil in here. I did not use oil in boiling the pasta, just a little salt. And it is absolutely delicious, guys. It is out of this world. And you're going to actually take a bite. Okay, it has got the crunch from the broccoli. It is not chopped so fine that it's, you know, mushy. And with the peppers and the other things in here, it's amazing.
Oh, there she goes.
It is so delicious. So here it is, guys. I'm going to try to hold it up for you to see. There are some of the ingredients, and as you dig to the bottom of the bowl, that's where all the, you know, the heavy ingredients fall. So at the bottom, you're going to have a lot more nuts, broccoli. I guess you could put carrot and other stuff in here if you want, or more fruit, you know what I mean, more cranberries, different types of dried fruit. My kids started eating this. They were like, ooh, this is good. I'm like, yeah, and it's super easy. So I just thought I'd share it with you guys because everybody eats a little pasta. Oh, let me give you the stats. 1 second. It isn't really that bad when we break it down. Okay, the stats on this broccoli stuff, it says on the box of the pasta that a serving is 1 1/4 cups. Not for this girl. I broke it down so that if I had half of that, and I'm not exactly sure what that would be, it probably would have even less than that. Mm-hmm. So that would be 113 calories from the pasta, 21 carb for protein from the pasta. I'm estimating with my wizardly self, my mathematical genius, that this should probably be about 250 calories total because you have your cranberries in there and you have some carbs with your broccoli. Broccoli has 10 calories, I figured, for my serving, 2 carbs. The dressing has 2 carbs, 10 fat, and 110 calories. So that with the 113, you know, it's probably up around 250. So a total of 25 carbs. Did you hear that? 25 carbs. Okay. And 6 protein for the salad. So it's awesome, you guys. You have to give this a try. The chopped nuts in it is amazing. And you know I like to cook with nuts. Anybody knows me, fruit and nuts. My thing. I guess I was, you know, just crazy. Any questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, with the salad, the thing I want to bring up is I really like especially the look of it and the imagination of the taste, because there is a couple ingredients in there that I would not normally eat. But mixed together and combined with the other ingredients, I would eat that just as it is and not pick anything out. If it was limited to maybe 3 ingredients and there was some in there I didn't like, I would pick it out. It's not that I would not pick things out because it would be an inconvenience. It's because I think mixed all together, the taste of the things that I particularly dislike wouldn't affect me that much. So I really like the salad. I think it is a great side for the dish that you brought, the main dish that you brought, and good job.
Thank you, Rob.
I would. I mean, me, because I'll change everything up. If I had to change that up, I would add some like finely shredded sharp cheddar cheese to that.
Mm-hmm.
That
That might be good.
really
It might be. I think that feta would be better if it didn't have any, or like the cojita,
Yeah, feta would be good.
cheese, or even a little gorgonzola to step out there all the way. I didn't have that.
Yeah, there you go.
Those,
Yeah.
I'm a cheese girl.
Or what would be really good in there also is if you bought a square of Havarti dill and cut that into little mini squares and then toss that Havarti dill in there. That would be absolutely amazing.
And then some crispy fried bacon off in there too.
We can take the salad, the Robsies, and put it right there.
So tonight, then, the scores are in for you. And tonight, we really felt that your strong point was your presentation. You did very informative information to the viewers about what's all in detailed in your meal. The plating ranked high. The only area you ranked a little lower on was the following the theme, and I think it's only because it's not a traditional dish that you would see at a barbecue. Having said that, I will say creativity you marked very high on also because it is something that could be served at a barbecue, especially for someone that is health conscious and taking things like that. Generally, probably not something most people would find at a barbecue, but I think you did a good job tonight, and overall, I think your dish was great.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to add, anyone else? Viewers, let's see if the viewers have weighed in, because tonight Daddy's on his game, and I'm going to see what they're saying.
And I'm hearing thundering applause in my earphone.
Shadow Girl 1 said, I missed your main dish, but the salad looks very good, Zen. Zen, could you hold up your main dish again and hold up the fish also, just so that the viewers that came in can see?
Okay, here is the piece of the fish blackened. Okay, this is just a piece that I saved so I could pull it out and show you what it would look like. And that is the blackening. And then this is the purple tortilla mahi taco. I'm trying to get this where you can actually see it. There you go. And inside is sliced cabbage, tomato, cilantro, and the fish itself with some seasoning. And the purple taco is a purple wheat corn tortilla blend from Sprouts Market. I'm sorry you can't really see the color.
You can. On our end, you can.
Oh, you can? Okay, because on my computer you can't see the color too good. But anyway, it is a delicious taco, because my daughter had one earlier and I grabbed a piece of the tortilla just to taste it. And I took a piece of leftover tortilla out for my dogs as treats, and just a little bite each to try to bribe them to do the right thing outside. Yeah.
Awesome.
And it works. Here we go.
I do want to say, since Zen made fish, I'm going to bring this up. You guys, I saw this person that was cooking, and they made some salmon, and on the bottom they left the skin. Well, I bought a box of marinated salmon from Costco this 2 weekends ago, and I didn't realize it, but it has the skin on it, right? Well, I was watching this guy that prepared it. It was not hard after it was cooked to remove the skin. It's just kind of gross if you don't like it. But having said that, this guy said you can take the skin, cut it into slices, and then bake it until it's crispy and put it onto a salad. And I thought, okay, you might be able to do that, but you know what? Daddy's hitting a crouton, because I ain't into all the skin, okay?
No, that scale stuff is just not my thing. That reflective.
It's not mine either. So I do want to say before we move on to Michael's presentation tonight that Lori Has Hope is here, and we haven't seen her in a long time, so we're welcoming her back to her front row spot here. And it says, hi everyone, sorry I am late, but I finally made it to a live show. You all look amazing as always. Thank you, Boo. You know this little hint is from the lighting, okay? It says, Alicia, I hope you are feeling better and will be back on the show next week. And she will be. She's had enough time off. Okay, it's time to come back to work, Alicia.
Time to come back to work.
Right. I'm going to sit back and enjoy the show while I'm doing my pedaling and exercising. You know, for the people that are watching live, to anybody that watches, we thank you. And for the people that take the time and are able to set it aside to watch us live, we greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or suggestions or anything about these dishes, please feel free to share those with us. We'll read them out on the air, and the chefs or the judges can answer any questions that you may have. Having said that, Mr. Michael.
Okay.
So good.
First of all, I love pulled pork. Pulled pork is one of my favorite things, but since surgery, I have not been able to eat pork. I cannot tolerate pork. So I have adapted my pulled pork into pulled chicken. So here is a pulled chicken slider.
Oh, it's so cute.
It is it's chicken breast, and I'll tell you how I season it. I cook this in the crock pot. I use one of these packets. It's a actual slow cooker pulled pork by McCormick, and it's one of these packets with 3 pounds of chicken, a half a cup of ketchup, a half a cup of firmly packed brown sugar, but I use the Splenda brown sugar blend, and a third of a cup of apple cider vinegar. You mix all that up, you pour it over the chicken, and you put it in the crock pot for 8 hours on low, and then you just literally just shred it in the crock pot in the juices, and I mean it is just super moist. Let me open this up. I do put a little bit of Stubbs barbecue sauce on it. It's not, the apple cider vinegar really cuts the sweet of the barbecue, of the brown sugar, but it is like, it's the perfect. I'll eat one. I actually put 2 on the plate, but here's the plating again. I mean, it is just cute little slider, pulled pork, or pulled chicken. So that is my main dish tonight.
Looks very good.
And of course, I figured it's 4th of July theme. I ain't worried about no stats. I ain't even going to think about what I'm eating that day. I'm just going to eat what I can eat. And yeah, that's just the way it is. I mean, 4th of July comes once a year.
Right.
So, you ain't got no stats tonight. But it is chicken with, a reduced calorie brown sugar blend. So, that is my main dish.
They look good.
I really like the idea. I like the way that certain portions of the meat look crispy. I actually thought that there was bacon on there for a second. Seriously. I'm not just trying to be a baconaholic, but I seriously thought there was some strips of bacon on there. So, I love that. I don't want to say grizzle, but I love that crispy outer side part of cooking meat and casseroles and things like that. It's always amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the best part.
And that happens because that was the one that those were the pieces that were on the edge of the crock pot all day long. So
Yeah.
I mean, those are really the best pieces, and I picked most of those out and put on my sandwich.
Yeah, those take the cake for me. I love it when I'm around people who don't like that kind of a thing.
Oh, me too.
Because I love those kinds of things. I think it just tastes good. I think you bring up a good point, Michael. With the holiday, I think there's a lot of people that are conscious about what they're eating, and there's other people that say, this is a day for me, I don't usually do this, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I think the important thing to remember is moderation.
Exactly.
Using moderation both in the amount that you eat and how often you do that. So if for people out there, your freebie days or whatever you want to say is going to be a holiday, they're not necessarily every other day or anything like that. So do that. Just remember, if you overeat, you're going to be full and then probably be miserable some. I think a lot of people experience that, especially at Thanksgiving and Christmas. But that's really good. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is I'm sure all of us on the panel know, and probably a lot of people, but don't be scared to cook with vinegars. A lot of people feel that it's going to taint the taste of the food and make it taste very weird. If you cook with it correctly, you will not be able to taste that vinegar taste unless your recipe is specifically bringing up something like, sometimes salads can be made and different things can be made where you do have that
Acid.
like sharp taste, that vinegary taste to it. So there is some salads where that's expected, but if you cook with vinegar and you use it correctly, you don't have to worry about that taste being overwhelming to your dishes. Would you guys agree with that?
It balances out the sweet for sure.
It definitely balances out the sweet, and vinegar is also a natural. What is it?
It's a.
Aphrodisiac.
I just
I
lost.
don't go there, Rob.
It just left in my brain what I was going to say.
What's the
Tenderizer.
detoxifier? It's
Oh,
a
tenderizer.
A tenderizer too.
Mm-hmm.
People take shots of it.
Michael, or I'm sorry, Brooke, do you have anything to add?
I like anything that's cute and little. So when people make little food, I'm like, oh, it's little. I love pulled chicken, pulled pork, and I've cooked with that McCormick seasoning before. I actually cooked it for a bridal shower that I had to cook stuff for, and everybody really liked it. It's really good. I don't know why you would make your own, because that is really perfect. It's good.
And the other good thing too, you bring up a really good point, and this may be a helpful hint for some people, Brooke. If you're at a barbecue and there's usually going to be a lot of children and stuff, it may be a good idea just to have those smaller slider buns also, so that kids aren't as wasteful. It's not necessarily that kids can't eat. It's sometimes when it's those special days and you got a water slide over here and you got the kickball going over there, and your parents are like, no, you're going to come eat. They can try to rush to eat and then leave a bunch of food that's wasted at the end of the day. So I think having the slider buns there as an option for people who may be watching their carbs or may have children and not want to be wasteful, what a good alternative, really.
I mean, slider buns, I mean, I use a lot of slider buns when we have big get-togethers because, I mean, it's a smaller portion, and there's always a variety of food, and you can fit more on your plate if you have a little bun.
Yeah, true.
Y'all
I
trying
think
to turn
that
this into Jerry Springer talking about slider buns and all of it. I mean,
yeah, there we go. But yeah, I think that the slider buns are really cute and really a fun, festive way to celebrate. And, you know, even if you ate 15 of them, I still think that it would be awesome. They're just easy to have in your hand. You know, you don't have to have two hands on there. You can
Less mess.
You can have a drink in one hand and a slider bun in there and just kind of, you know, see what I'm saying? Super easy. And that way it allows you to keep the conversation going without trying to go, whoops, this junk dropped in my lap, you know.
And the other thing that since the community that we're in is about weight loss or about maintenance or about watching what we eat and being more healthier, it does give people an option that maybe wants to have that effect of eating something and not having to leave the top bun off or not just leaving it, because that's not really the effect of a hamburger or a pulled pork sandwich. So take the smaller slider bun, you can still have the effect of eating that, and then do some extra meat on the side or whatever you want to. So there's so many options you can do, and these are things that are important to look at for all of us and make sure that we are mindful if you choose to be mindful that day. If you decide that that's going to be a free day or your cheat day or your cheat meal or whatever, then have fun with it, you know, have fun with it, run with it, own it, and then just get right back on track. So there's a lot of ways to handle those situations.
Let me throw one more thing out there. With the slider bun, I mean, you mentioned, you know, a lot of people take the top bun off and just eat the bottom bun. Right. Technically, that's all it really is. It's about the same quantity of bread as the bottom bun, but you got a top and a bottom, and it actually, I mean, it's like a regular whole hamburger, but it's just smaller, you know, with, you know, the same amount of bread as the bottom bun, and you got a top bun then.
So you got, you don't, that way you don't have, you know, you can have both. You can hold it instead of trying to eat it.
I have a question. Is the chicken as juicy of a slider as the traditional pulled pork? Is it, you make it juicy the same way?
It is juicy. I mean, some of the bun is a little soggy, but not too much. And I mean, I bit into it and I had juices in my mouth. Yeah,
oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, because you don't want it too dry. You know, that's the thing, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's fairly juicy. I mean, you can see the juices. Oh, let me dropping
Don't
out.
let it drop.
Oh, I dropped it in my hand. I was going to lick that off. I
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
going to waste it.
Anyway, so
A
I ain't
juicy
wasting my
slide.
juices.
okay, Michael, what's your side when your mouth is empty? Now that we're
Okay.
all.
Oh, my mouth is empty. I swallowed quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Springer will return right after this commercial.
Okay. My side, y'all sit back and get ready for this. I make a baked bacon mac and cheese. This
Why?
this is, oh my God, this is, let me tell you about this. Oh, MG, this is amazing. I take a whole pound of bacon and I chop it up and I fry it up crisp. I take all but about a cup of it. I reserve a cup, put the other on a paper towel and let it drain really, really good. I boil 2 cups of noodles according to the directions, rinse them, drain them, and set them back in the pot. In a separate pot, I'll take, it's 1 small onion, a half a cup of butter, a half a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of pepper, and then you saute your onions until they're tender. And then you add a half a cup of flour. You get that all mixed in good, and then you put in 3 cups of milk, and you boil that. You bring it up to a boil until it's nice and bubbly. You know, it's almost like a gravy. And then I put in 8 ounces of a sharp cheddar cheese, and then I put in 4 ounces of pepper jack cheese. You mix that all up until it's all melted. You add the bacon to it, and then you mix it with the noodles. You put it in your glass baking dish, 9 by 13. In the oven on 375 for 30 minutes until it's nice and golden, bubbly brown. You pull that out, and then you garnish the top with the other half a cup of bacon or a cup of bacon that you pulled aside, whatever you didn't pick eating when the rest of it was baking.
Right.
And then, I mean, let me just show you this. I mean, I got the bacon on top, but, oh, it is just yummy bacon,
Oh, yeah.
mac and cheese, and it's...
And the pan had those crispy, like, little leave-ins, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get to pick up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that looks...
This is not an everyday food for me. This is a special occasion dish I make for the family. They love it. I mean, and you can't go wrong with mac and cheese, and you add bacon to it. I mean, that's like heaven.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And it goes perfect with the pulled chicken sandwiches.
I think it goes perfect with everything. Truthfully.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it does. It's good.
We may have some questions for you in just a second, but I want to read some things that the viewers are saying. Shadow Girl 1 said, that looks so beautiful, Zen. Your food is always so colorful.
Thank you.
Alicia said, you guys are seriously making me hungry. And then Shadow Girl 1 also said, so when can I come over for some of that chicken, Michael? Laugh out loud. I love King's Hawaiian rolls and buns for pulled pork and brats and burgers. And really, and anything really, I can eat those on their own. Laugh out loud. They are amazing. I love those.
I like King.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
This is actually the Pepperidge Farms slider buns tonight.
Those will be suspended.
So, Michael, the question I wanted to ask about the mac and cheese is, well, it's really not a question, and this is just a suggestion, not for you, but for anybody, because we were talking about all the golden corners and stuff, and I can only imagine what that looked like, and then you take the fork and run it against the edge, and then eat that, right? We all know what I'm talking about.
You go slowly as not to miss anything.
Now, what I was thinking about, I don't know if you've seen these, and I'm sure most people have, they have these dishes that are squared, and they're about the same size, and then they have a bunch of little squares that you fill stuff into, like if you're making brownies or whatever.
I have seen that, like a seen on TV kind of thing, right?
Yes, where everything is a corner and has all the crispiness to it. Imagine making that mac and cheese in those little individual loaves, and then every one of them having like 4 corners on it, crispy. Oh Lord! And that'd be the perfect serving size too. You could even use that to, you know, to portion it out and say, I'm just eating this, and then I'm done. For people that may have control issues with that, you know. But
all that.
Oh, that would be
crispy. Oh my goodness! Yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie. So I'm gonna tally up the scores while Brooke asks a question.
I haven't been eating any animal products, so, but like I sure know what it tastes like, and like I can imagine it. And barbecue is good. I think for the 4th of July we were gonna go walk in a parade. I'm not sure if we're gonna do it. I might just get some like veggie burgers and vegetables and grill them and that kind of thing.
That sounds good.
I don't think. Yeah, my sons are afraid of fireworks.
Your famous pizza, Brooke. Your famous
barbecue
pizza.
That's what I should do. You're right. I should make that.
That one is so awesome. I
haven't used the grill yet. I will do that. I'm write it down.
Okay, so
it will happen.
Tonight, the same as last week. We're just gonna have a Top Chef, and the reason is because we only have 2 cooks. Next week we should have more cooks back, more chefs back. Michael, the strong point that Brooke and I rated you on was definitely following the theme. And then I would say the category where you scored the lowest, and I think you did good on it, would be the presentation. And I don't think it was necessarily for lack of information or anything like that. I just think in general, that's where the score came in low for you this week. I really can't explain as to why, but that's the presentation at the time it was being given was where you scored low. Having said that, tonight you guys, each chef had an opportunity to get 80 points, okay? 40 from Brooke and 40 from me. What I do want to say is that tonight's top chef coming in at 68 points is Zen.
Oh,
congratulations! And Michael came in 1 point behind her at 67. So,
yeah, I think you should give the runner-up position because we worked hard knowing that all these people were out. We came through, and everybody should get an extra entry on both sides.
You guys came through and did amazing. What we're going to do is now pick our stellar dish. Brooke will pick one. Yes, Brooke can pick one out of any of them that was presented, and then I will pick one. Brooke, it's your call.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese for Michael.
Oh.
Okay. And for me tonight, for the top, for the stellar dish for me is also going to be the bacon mac and cheese from Michael. Amazing dish. Definitely something you would find at a barbecue, and good job to both of you guys this evening.
So much good stuff. I love barbecue-y types of foods. I like going, like you said, Rob, going to like a party and putting all the little different things on your plate. And I like the whole atmosphere of all of that. And barbecue is a perfect spot for that. So.
Oh, exactly.
Yes.
I have a question. Since we're on the barbecue theme, what on the dessert level at a barbecue, when y'all go to a barbecue cookout, what normal desserts do you look for?
That's a good question.
What I usually see at a barbecue are usually brownies. I see a lot of people that will make brownies. 4th of July themed cookies or cupcakes. I see those quite a bit. I don't see a whole lot of pies and cakes and stuff. I'm sure that people do that. I don't see a ton of like ice cream and stuff because it's so hard to keep frozen and that kind of a thing. But I see a lot of are usually brownies, cookies, and cupcakes.
Banana
Fruit
pudding.
pies.
I see watermelon as a dessert,
Oh, yeah.
and I see a lot of watermelon at
I see
barbecue.
a lot of watermelon too. Yes.
And
Fruit
sometimes
pies are my absolute favorite. So if someone brings a fruit pie,
oh, Brooke, I saw
fruit
it.
pie.
Well, I'll tell you what I normally have for a dessert. I normally make about 3. I would normally have either an apple pie or a cherry pie, along with a banana pudding, and then a peach cobbler, and not
That's my favorite.
but not a crusted one. It's the actual like cakey dough peach cobbler. Where I mean, I'll have to make it and show y'all. Oh, that just might be just a sample dish next week for y'all.
I saw a recipe that I would love to try. It is an apple enchilada, where they actually made like an apple pie filling rolled up in like a flour tortilla, and it's on Pinterest. You got to check it out. I thought if anybody wants just like a little portable pie to take for a party or something, that would be an awesome. Or you could put cherry or cheesecake or like make it into a blintz kind of thing. I just thought it was kind of cool that that could be adapted.
Can you imagine taking that
Right?
apple pie filling and then you take that tortilla and you dip that tortilla in some butter and then dip it over
Oh
it
yeah,
in
you
flour
definitely
and
have
just some
stuff on
cinnamon
it and
sugar
sauce.
and cinnamon sugar and then put that pie filling
Yeah.
in and then roll it up and then
It
deep
wasn't
fry it.
just like a plain enchilada. It definitely had all the cinnamon and stuff on it, and like the sauciness. So the enchilada was sort of a smothered, smothered apple. Anyway, I just had to share this, guys, because I thought it would be fun and easy
I
for
think we
people
can
to make. I never think of using that. I would have never come to my mind.
It sounds nice. It sounds fun.
I think we're ready for another dessert show.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
you know what, you guys, it's going to be interesting, and I know Zen won't be on this episode because she's going to be on business, but on the July 13th episode, that's a signature meal. That's where the chefs get to cook their signature meal, and the theme is the judges are coming to dinner. What are you making us? So you guys will be making a meal that you would present to us at a dinner. It can be a meal. So we're talking a main, 2 sides, a dessert, whatever you choose. It doesn't have to be all of that. There's no requirements. But what would you make us when we came and sat down at the dinner table with you? We do have a comment coming in, and this comes in from Shadow Girl 1, and it says, "Oh, Rob, on the crispy edge things, I think Rachel Ray makes these teeny tiny bowls that you can actually put in the oven and bake with. That way, everyone has their own little serving and crispy edges. Perfect for measuring portions." So thanks for that advice. Check that out, Rachel Ray products. She'd probably find them online before you go looking in the store and find out where they're carried. Since we're on the barbecue thing and we have a few minutes left here, you guys, let's talk about the struggle that comes with the holidays for each of us, or things you've noticed from the past to where you are now, and that kind of thing. Because holidays are something that can derail someone in a heartbeat. And sometimes they recover the next day and they have the strength to do that, and other times that derailment can last for weeks, months, who knows. So let's just touch base on that, and we're going to start with Michael, because Zen's got her mouth full. Just kidding. I had to call you out. Michael, let's start with you. So, what do you think?
Well, my main thing that used to derail me, and it kind of still does, is my portion control and my choices. I tend to graze all day long. I mean, because I'll get up first thing in the morning and I'll start cooking. And what do you do when you cook? You got to taste your food to make sure that it's good for everybody. So, I mean, I'm constantly tasting and eating, and I mean, and then, because I'll make a nice big breakfast for a holiday, and then I start, preparing the lunch, and then you got to taste the lunch, and then you got to eat the lunch, and then and then you got the leftovers at the end of the day. So mine is really portion control and just needing to stop grazing over the food. So,
Right.
but it's nothing like it used to be.
Yeah, and it's easier said than done, that's for sure. Alicia has posted a comment and said that it says, "Okay, guys, I got to come back next week and keep you all in line." She thinks we're getting a little unruly.
Oh, with the slider buns.
When the boss is away, the mouse will play. All right.
Uh-huh.
What about you, Zen? What do you think about the holidays and how it compared from the past to the present, how you used to deal with them?
Well, I think in the past I always used to eat more than I needed, and just more. And now, if I'm usually go to friend's house on the 4th of July, truthfully, I don't cook a lot here. But if I did, like Michael said, you do tend to check out the food that you're making, and I'm not the person generally who makes a lot of the sweet stuff unless I'm going to take it and drop it someplace. I got to be very careful with that. It's a slippery slope. So my tendency would be on the 4th of July or whatever would be to probably eat. If I'm going to graze, I'm going to graze on the protein option. But if somebody has like grapes out there, I'm going to eat those. Or if they got chips and salsa, I got to really be careful and try to go to a different alternative. It's why don't you just have half of a hamburger, honey? Instead of going to getting carried away with the chips and salsa. And also the watermelon. I love watermelon. I can fill up on that, and even though it's carbs, I guess it's probably better than the cake or the cupcakes if they're there. So I think 4th of July isn't too bad for me, in that regard. So other holidays are much more dangerous because there's much more tastier treats and so forth. So meat, bring it on. I can feast on that, and that when I'm full, I'm literally, can't take another bite full.
Right.
So even if I wanted to, I could.
I think one of the things you run into with the holidays is there's so much stuff that usually people take the time to make homemade. And like we talked about last week, there's nothing like a homemade macaroni salad, nothing like a homemade, pasta salad or potato salad or homemade baked goods and that kind of a thing. And you see that a lot more. There's still people that go to the store and just pick something up, but there's a lot of people that take time, especially if they're the host hosting something, to make these homemade dishes because they want to show off their stuff to people. I will say the 4th of July is not a hard holiday for me. I generally go over to a friend's house. I think it's something that you can generally eat healthy by just using portion control, moderation in how much you're eating. The holiday that gets me every year is Christmas, and it's because it lasts so long. There's so many weeks to Christmas, in my opinion. It starts a couple weeks before with people bringing things, and then lasts a week after until things are gone. So the 4th of July is not a hard holiday for me in general. Most holidays are not. Christmas is really the only one that I would struggle with. I don't like celebrate Easter or anything like that because I don't have children, and so I'm not like overwhelmed with candy and things like that. So Christmas is the one that gets me, and that I'm gonna hopefully between now and then learn moderation even better than what I have. But Brooke, what about you? What would you say is you notice the difference between how you used to eat and you eat now, if any, at these holidays and events?
Thanksgiving and Christmas is another dimension of hard. That's a whole nother topic. But for the 4th of July, when I used to drink, my biggest problem on the 4th of July was how much I would drink. Because for some reason in my mind, like 9 o'clock on the 4th of July is like a totally appropriate time to start drinking. And I would
9 a.m.
Oh, it's 9 a.m.
Yes.
And I would drink all day and not eat anything so I could keep drinking until barbecue at night. And now that I don't drink, I don't have that problem. So yeah, it's not as hard because it's not like the day after 4th of July you're like, oh, I have all this leftovers. It's sort of like, oh, it's over.
Right.
Yeah. I think alcohol could be an issue too on the 4th of July if you're going to some place where they're heavily socializing in that realm in the evening. I think that a lot of people indulge in beer and mixed drinks, margaritas and so forth. And, you know, that can be a slippery slope for some also. So you might not eat that much, but if you're drinking, you know, a bunch of throwing them back, you're gonna have a lot of calories that are adding up, providing you with no nutrition. But,
Well,
I mean, throw that to the end.
That's an issue that's been talked about on a lot of shows on YouTube, was the fact that a lot of people within the community, not all, but a lot of people will replace their habit of overeating and indulging a lot in food and replace that with excessive drinking, or what some would consider excessive drinking, or more drinking than they ever did before. And a lot of people look at it as a transfer addiction or a reason why that happens. And you know what, I don't know why that happens, and I don't have the education to say it, but I will say it is something, as you look through the community, that there's a lot of people that used to not drink that now drink, and drink really often. And no one's judging them, to each their own, but I think for a lot of people in the community, the thing they may need to watch more at the holidays is their drinking per se than their eating. I think they're coming accustomed to only being able to eat a little bit of food and not going crazy on it, but yeah, overindulging in the drinks. And the booze and stuff can hit you hard too, you know, calorie-wise, sugar-wise, a lot of different ways. So I think that's something that's prevalent in our community, and you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So, anybody else have anything to say before we head out tonight?
Well, yeah, I would like to just, you know, agree with you on the whole Thanksgiving, from Thanksgiving to Christmas. I mean, it's like Thanksgiving comes and then Christmas is here. I mean, you got office Christmas parties, friends Christmas parties. It's like every single weekend there's a Christmas party you're going to, all the way through New Year's. So that whole 6 weeks is like
it's a lot of parties.
Food galore, and it's like, oh my God. I mean, you really got to be able to be mindful and conscious and moderate what you eat. And if you can take a dish, you know, try to make it just your favorite healthiest dish that you can take.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, I'm glad I don't work in an office this year, because I won't have to endure all the people with the candy on their desks and the donuts in the every day on the, you know, oh, there's donuts over there on the bar in the kitchen, or there's cookies, and people bringing them around to your desk even. Yeah. Oh, my one these, and you're like, oh, nice, thank you.
Yeah, and then in all the offices, you got the little secret Santa who comes and brings you, you know, this on this day and that on that day, and like it's always food, and it's like cupcakes and cookies and cheesecake and you know, candied nuts and everything. Yeah,
that's optional. I don't sign up for that reason. Yes.
It can be it can drag you in, and it's hard once you start to the next day not indulge in it, because you kind of think, oh, I've already done it, so after the holidays I'll get right back on track. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's one of the most dangerous statements.
What's that?
I said I think that's one of the most dangerous statements.
Yes. Easy to say, an easy way out for sure, and some people's intentions may be to get started, and some people's may just be a way of justifying it to themselves. But having said that, you guys, we had an amazing show tonight. Again, thank you to all the viewers who watched live. Thank you to all of you who watched the show after it posts to the channel. Next week, we have Nuts for Nuts, Cooking with Nuts. So our chefs will be cooking with nuts. Alicia returns. Tina returns. And hopefully, Christy may be set up. We're not quite sure, but our fingers are crossed, and we're really hoping that she will be here. Congratulations to Zen tonight, our top chef, and to Michael for 2 entries into the Cellar Dish drawing, and Zen 1 entry into the Cellar Dish drawing for being named top chef. Remember, you guys, we only have a few weeks left here. We have 3 more weeks, and we have 3 more amazing shows for you guys, and big announcements coming up regarding next season. So thanks again for watching, everyone. Have an amazing week. Be safe out there. Enjoy your 4th of July, because that will come before we see you. And for all those people that are off on Friday, enjoy your extra day off. and be very, very careful out there. A lot of people are drinking, like it was mentioned tonight, and things can be very dangerous. So have both eyes open and always be aware of your surroundings. Thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you later.